So how are you involved in the lighting design of this?
Well, in a process normally I'm very involved. I care so much about how light hits people on stage, and I care a lot about how light can change and add texture and give structure to staging and really bring it to life. For this concert in particular, because we are doing it in such a short amount of time on the stage in the real space, choices have to be made about what is the maximum amount of beauty we can shoot for in the smallest amount of time. And lighting, I think, in its simplicity, can be quite wonderful.
Yes, can make all the difference in the world.
Can make all the if we were aiming for a show with 100 cues, and we had 4 hours to do it, we might hit about 15 or so. So part of it has to do with how much can you reduce and how economical can you be.
So tell us about how you work on a preconceived set that has nothing to do with any of the operas that are being, I think,
Yes.
that are being staged.
You're right.
So how are you using it? Have you seen it? How do you go about working with it?
I've seen renderings. It's a production that was at, I believe, the Canadian Opera Company, so there are pictures available, and they're currently in some process of building in the house itself, so you can sneak down there and sit in the audience and look at it. But part of our fortunate position is that the set is rather universal. It's essentially a wooden sequence of staircases and walls that gesture towards Elizabethan, the Globe Theater, has a very theatrical vibe already on stage, and it has a little rake, which is wonderful for the singers and for the audience. And so a lot of the decisions about how people move on it have to do with entrances and exits in ways that you can create more thoughtful stage pictures and compositions using all of this wonderful architecture that we have. Then there's the logistical issue of people just need to get down and sing in front of the orchestra, because this orchestra, is substantial.
Yes.
So we're balancing those two things. How do you make a beautiful picture? The set is wonderfully adaptive to our needs, or adaptable to our needs, and just making choices that make sure that the flow is constant and that everyone is well positioned to give their best performance.
That's great. So I have one last question for you. So of all the operas being presented in the Merola Grand Finale, which one would you most like to direct an entire production of?
Oh, that's so interesting.
Or which ones?
Maybe it's because I just got finished with this scene in the room, but we're doing a scene from Strauss's Capriccio, which is an opera that I did not know at all before getting to interact with it in the Merola Grand Finale, and I have to say, it's really, really ravishing. It's a beautiful piece of music, and it's something that I would be very interested in spending a little bit more time with.
Oh.
Strauss is difficult, but it's worthwhile.
Well, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it. We're all looking forward to the Merola Grand Finale.
As am I.
Toi, toi, toi.
Thank you.